Today I thought I would talk about tunnel walls for the Peabody Merrimack Valley Railroad and how I make them. I've looked on YouTube and there's really not a whole lot of videos on making tunnel walls so that, you know, the tunnel walls make when you look inside the tunnel, makes it more realistic. So I thought I'd share with you all how I make my tunnel walls. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here are the products that I use to make the tunnel wall, and it's a very simple process. It doesn't really take long to do. The main product that actually makes up the wall is this right here. It's called Shaper Sheet by Woodland Scenics, and they make two different sizes. One is a 9-inch by 72-inch long, 9-inch wide, 72-inch long. That's what this is, 9 inches. And then they make an 18-inch wide by 72-inch long roll. And what it basically comprised of is just it's like a tin foil that's on this side that's stiffer than what you would find like in your kitchen, the aluminum foil in your kitchen. It's stiffer, it's a heavier foil, but it's actually easy to cut with scissors. And there's a felt backing on the other side. And what you do is you shape it to the dimensions that you'd like, and then it holds its shape because of the stiff foil. And Woodland Scenics actually makes a plaster that you can put on the outside to make it even stiffer if you'd like. I don't use that with the tunnel walls. I don't need to use that. And so I use the tape measure and the marker to mark out I measure out the dimensions, and then I use this Krylon spray paint. It's black and it's flat. You got to make sure it's flat so there's no sheen. You want it to be a flat black. And I paint it after I shape it, and I paint it on the felt side. So now I'll go into how I make it. Okay, so what I do is I take the shaper sheet and I roll it out. I quickly measure it. "12 inches long." And you can make this any length you want. The reason why I'm making it 12 inches long because I want to make an access point so that in case the train derails, I have a way to reach in through the access hatch, and the tunnel liner wall won't actually span the whole length of the tunnel. So that if something happens, I can reach in the middle and fix the train if it happens to derail. 7.5 inches high. Okay, so it's measured out. Now I just simply cut it. Okay, so there it is. Very easy to cut. So here it is. All really you got to do is you just to give it that rocky texture, I'm basically just going to crumple this up into a ball and then unfold it. So I just go like this. And then I unfold it. Just got to be careful when you unfold it, you don't cut your hands. You've got the edges of the aluminum foil, and you just kind of gently unfold it. And then you have the rocky texture. Gives you that natural rock texture. And then the next step is really just to simply spray paint it with the spray paint, the black spray paint. So we'll go ahead and do that next. I'll go ahead and do that and be right back. Okay, so I painted the shaper sheet and let it dry for a couple of hours, and this is what it looks like. When you're finished painting it. So next step is to attach it to the layout, and so I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so what I did was I took the plywood off to show you guys what it looks like, how I attached the shaper sheets to the actual layout itself. And basically I connected it with some 2x3s that I used L brackets to hold onto the table. And the reason why I made the shaper sheet 7.5 inches tall is so that I could curve it at the top so that it would sit flush up against the bottom of the plywood when the plywood sits on top. And this is what it looks like without the tunnel portal and the plywood on top. And over here is where we're going to be attaching the shaper sheets that I painted earlier, and do the exact same thing. I've kind of already did the preliminary work and made sure that they fit snug. And when you attach them, you got to make sure that they are flush against the inside of the tunnel portal. I know the tunnel portal is not painted. I haven't painted it and weathered it yet. I'm just using it as like a guide. So you got to make sure that it's flush against the inside of the tunnel portal, so that you don't see any of the 2x3 coming from behind when you actually look inside the tunnel. So I'll go ahead and what I'll do is I use drywall screws. I use a 1 5/8 drywall screw, and I actually screw the shaper sheet wall to the 2x3s. So you can see right here, it's kind of camouflaged. It's kind of not focusing here. It's camouflaged against the black, the drywall screw, which is a good thing. You don't want to see the drywall screw. And the way I attach the drywall screws, I put them up high so that when you put the tunnel portal in place, you won't actually see the screw kind of sticking out, because it's being hidden by the tunnel portal. So you got to make sure that it's high enough, that you won't see it as you're looking inside the tunnel. All right, so I'll go ahead and attach these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I attached the last two shaper sheets for the other side of the tunnel, and I think it came out pretty good. So one thing I forgot to mention was that what I did was I painted inside the tunnel on either side of the track. I did a strip of black paint just to kind of darken the inside of the tunnel. So It gives it that dark appearance, but I only painted a little bit because you're only going to see a little bit into the tunnel. So I'll go ahead and put the plywood back on and show you what it looks like with the plywood on top. So this is the finished product, and you probably can't even see with this video the actual contours of the rock that I made with the shaper sheet to give it that rocky appearance, but this is the finished product. And if I move in closer, you still can't really see the detail, but you can see all the way through the other part of the tunnel. It's not really focusing. Yeah, it's still not focusing. There we go. And there's light shining through, but once I'm going to end up closing it all up so there won't be any light. So what you'll see is, you'll see this, somebody walking in looking will see this part, looking into the tunnel. So I hope this video was informative and helpful if you ever want to make your own tunnels. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook. The Peabody Merrimack Valley has a Facebook page. I'll put a link in the description down below. All right, so everyone, have a good day.